Let me ask you something uncomfortable. If your life is fine, why do you keep needing to escape it? Not once in a while, every day. Why does silence feel heavy? Why does evening feel like something to survive? Why does a normal Tuesday feel longer than it should? If this is what being okay looks like, why does it still feel like endurance? You wake up, you do what you're supposed to do, you work, you respond, you comply. On paper, nothing is wrong. Decent income, stable routine, no visible crisis. But somewhere around midday, something drops. Not sadness, not panic, just flatness. By night, you don't want more life. You want less awareness, so you soften the edges. A drink, a screen, a hit, a scroll that doesn't end. Not because you're reckless, because being fully present feels oddly unpleasant. You tell yourself it's normal. Everyone does this. This is adulthood. But there's a quiet question you avoid asking. If this is normal, why does it feel so hard to stay inside it? Here's the first thing that's rarely said out loud. If everyday sober life were genuinely satisfying, escape wouldn't be necessary. People don't reach for relief unless something hurts. Not dramatically, just constantly. Second, what we call addiction isn't outside normal life. It grows out of it. Long hours, tight expectations, endless maintenance of roles, very little space to feel alive. The problem isn't that some people break. It's that breaking is predictable. Third, we only call certain behaviors addiction, usually the ones that look messy. But others get applause, overworking, constant productivity, grinding through exhaustion, never stopping. Those aren't seen as problems. They're called discipline, responsibility, ambition, even when they hollow people out. And once someone does try to stop escaping, really stop, they're often dropped right back into the same life that made escape necessary. Then when they fall again, we ask what's wrong with them, not what they were returned to. Look around. The office, where caffeine replaces sleep and burnout is joked about like weather. The therapist's office, where anxiety is managed, but the life producing it is left untouched. The apartment, where the TV stays on because quiet feels threatening. The relationship that functions, but feels emotionally distant, so something else fills the gap. The phone that gets checked every few minutes, not because there's news, but because there's nothing else to sit with. Watch how often people say, I just need to unwind. Not after tragedy, after regular days. Notice how often relief has to be scheduled. Notice how many people say they're fine while counting down to the weekend, then numbing through that too. And watch young adults closely. The restlessness, the boredom masked as stimulation, the search for intensity in risky places. Not because they want to self-destruct, because nothing else feels real enough. When energy has nowhere to go, it turns inward as anxiety or outward as chaos. There's an assumption underneath all of this, that there are only two states, broken or normal, and that normal is automatically healthy. But a lot of people aren't broken. They're responding to lives that look stable and feel empty. Lives that function without ever fully engaging the person inside them. You can see it in how often relief is needed, how rarely presence feels safe, how quickly stillness turns into discomfort. Maybe the question isn't why people keep escaping. Maybe the quieter question is what exactly they're being asked to stay inside, and whether calling it normal has kept us from noticing how much of it people are quietly trying to leave.